Shalom, 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 Yasharal, it's your brother Mashaya coming back at y'all with a quick edifying video through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. So today I want to hop into the word going into the Civil War because right now with my reading, I'm reading the book of Judges and I just got done reading about Israel going against Benjamin because of that atrocious, evil act that they committed with raping that Levi's concubine. So I want to go into the root word of the meaning civil war, and I got a article going into the timeline and the different civil wars that Israel had against each other. So it says battles among fellow citizens or within a community, from civil in a sense of occurring among fellow citizens, attested from late 14th century in Batali, Sayuli, civil battle, etc. The exact phrase civil war is attested from late 15th century. The Latin phrase was bella civicus, an Old English word, for it was in Inguine, ancient Greek, had polemos, epidemios. Early use typically was in reference to ancient Rome, later in England to the struggle between Parliament and Charles I, 1641 and 1651, in U.S. to the War of Secession, 1861 to 1865, an application often decried as wholly inaccurate but in use among other names in the North during the war and boosted by the popular battles and leaders of the Civil War. Series published 1884 to 1887 in Century Magazine. So it's basically battles among fellow citizens or within a community. And let's hop into this article. So this article is not that long, so I'm just going to read straight through it. So it says, this is the sixth of 7 timelines in our series on biblical wars. It discusses the period from about 1380 to 1102 BC. During this time, ancient Israel experienced its first 2 civil wars that took a toll on God's people. 1380 to 1350 BC, tribal annihilation, almost. The book of Judges, chapter 19 through 21. An atrocity takes place only a few years after the death of Joshua that both shocks and angers the first generation to settle in the land of milk and honey. The heinous nature of the crime leads to a civil war that almost wipes out an entire tribe of Israel. The sinful event in question takes place during the time when Phinehas, the grandson of Aaron, is high priest. Judges chapter 20, 27 through 28. One day, a man from the priestly tribe of Levi, traveling with his wife, comes to the Benjamite town of Geba near Jerusalem. Judges chapter 19 through 14. Although he is unable to find lodging for the night, an old man coming from the fields spots him and offers his home as a place to stay. The Levite and his wife then follow the man to his home and stays with him. After sunset, some of the city's homosexuals go to the old man's home and violently beat on his door. They demand mimicking what happened to Lot in Sodom. And it says, see Genesis chapter 19, 4 through 5. They be given the Levites so that they can sexually abuse him. Judges chapter 19 through 22. And we already know that the Bible goes into not dealing with a man, man on man, woman on woman, beast on beast, not beast on beast, a man messing with a beast, woman messing with a beast. Leviticus chapter 18, Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22, and Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 17. But it says, hold up, I just lost where I was at. It says the Levite's wife is raped and abused all night long. She is ultimately discovered early in the morning, dead on the doorstep. The husband's quest for justice begins in a rather unique but gory way. It says, see Judges chapter 19, 29 through 30. By calling upon all Israel to respond to this evil, an army of 400,000 fighting men. See Judges chapter 20, verse 2. From 11 of the 12 tribes soon assembles and demands that the Benjamites expel the vile murderers in Geba for punishment. And I looked up what the word Geba means, and it means hill. And it says the tribe's foolish refusal to release the killers leads to a short civil war. Israel ultimately decimates Benjamin, including their deadly accurate left-handed marksmen. Judges chapter 20, 14 through 16, leaving only 600 men remaining. And it says 1105 to 1102 BC, Judge starts civil war. Judges chapter 9. And it says Abimelech, after his father Gideon dies in 1105, convinces the people of Shechem that it would be far better for him to rule them than any of his 70 brothers. With money given him by the city, he hires a group of criminals to publicly slaughter all of Gideon's sons. The youngest, Jotham, escapes, although the death of his brothers makes Abimelech the judge of northern Israel, and in 1105 it will eventually lead to a war. In 1102, the leaders of Shechem start to regret placing Abimelech in a position of power and begin to rebel against him. The city's rebellion is reported to Abimelech, who then uses his army to ambush anyone leaving the city to fight him. Abimelech then carries out a concerted plan to also ambush and murder anyone in Shechem who leaves the city to work in the fields. His wrath against the city is not quelled until after he destroys it and burns to death 1,000 survivors seeking refuge in a tower. Judges chapter 9, verses 46 through 49. Greatly desiring to stop the possibility of further rebellion against him, Abimelech continues his civil war by attacking Thebez. Although he captures the city, he soon dies when a woman from a high tower drops a millstone on his head. And with that, Yasharal, I pray our brothers and sisters were edified with this quick lesson going into the civil wars that Israel had with each other in the book of Judges. And with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. And with that, Shalom.